That you're a writing machine. Now, the question that everyone, I'm sure you've
Well,
been
I'm
asked.
running out of time. I'm 75 years old with some pretty bad medical conditions, so I'm trying to get everything done before the end of the thing. I'll write a note to you guys before I leave.
Yes. So the question, obviously, everyone has probably asked you a million times, because I know there was a rumor that it was going to happen. Forrest Gump 2. Are we going to get back on that horse?
No, that won't happen. I mean, I'll tell you some things that were in it, but I did write the script, and I turned it in on 9/10, the day before 9/11, and Bob and Zemeckis, the director, and Tom Hanks and I sat together and we looked at each other and said, "That's the end of this." The highlights in that were that I have him get in the back of the Bronco, the OJ Bronco, and they don't see him, and he kind of keeps popping up in the rearview mirror, which is pretty great. And I have him invent the wave in sports.
Okay.
Kind of getting up to call a peanut bender or something.
That's fantastic.
And everybody follows suit. I have him as a ballroom dancer, like an expert at it, and eventually dances as a kind of just because she's there. He dances for the Queen and Princess Diana, and then he dances with Princess Diana and ends up, you do those kind of things. And this poor woman ended up, this way. Yeah. And I'm trying to think what else.
He went to space, right?
No, that was supposed to be in the first. That was in the book. I never did that.
Okay, I love these though. If you have any others, I love these.
I have him. He's supposed to have been. He finds his calling in life. He ends up calling bingo on an Indian reservation.
Mm-hmm.
And he meets this woman. He lives within a trailer, and basically toward the end of the movie, he waits for her every day at a federal building because she teaches in the nursery school there. And he's sitting there, and the whole building blows up behind him. It was the Oklahoma City bombing.
Jesus.
Now that was sort of the most horrible thing I could think of in humankind, and then 9/11, of course, happened. And
right.
Now this has happened.
Yeah.
So. I'm trying to think what else was in the movie. The little boy dies of AIDS early on in the movie. Lieutenant Dan gets shot. He runs for Congress and gets shot and killed. There's just all sorts of stuff that I think end up being pretty spectacular. But I think nobody had the stomach for it anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't miss it. I mean, it's like. It was a lovely once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing.
Yeah. I have some questions, actually, about the movie Forrest Gump, some things that I've always wanted to know about it. When Forrest gets up at the Vietnam protest speech and they pull the cables on him, what does he say in that speech that we don't get to hear?
Okay, well, I'm so glad that's one of the great stories. I think it's a great movie story. So I tried to write a really serious speech, about my feelings about the war and what, it meant to a guy who fought in it, et cetera, et cetera. And so didn't quite work for the director, and he said, "Here, you either have to write the greatest dramatic speech ever written, like a Shakespeare thing, or something really funny." And I said, "Okay, I'll try it." So I wrote the best I could dramatically, and he didn't dig it. And then I tried to write something funny. I'm not by nature a comedian, and I asked Billy Crystal to try it. He tried it. Robin Williams tried it. I think John Lovett might have tried it. Anyway, a bunch of comedians I had that I knew quite well. They tried it, didn't work. So what he did, Bob, was have him step up to that microphone and do exactly what you see, have somebody pull the plug so you can't hear what he's saying, because I never wrote the thing properly. And it's pretty genius because he has that guy who's supposed to look like Abby Hoffman next to him, the radical guy who disappeared and all. Mm-hmm. And Abby Hoffman's the only one who hears it, who says, "You said it all, man." He said. So that was a true story. And I love that. Zemeckis is a wacky guy. It's pretty clever.